Welcome to AI for GIs, Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, Class 20, Capstone and Course Synthesis. This is the class where theory meets execution. 20 classes of vocabulary, platforms, decision frameworks, and building blocks. And now one question. Can you take all of it and engineer something real? That is what a capstone does. It does not test what you remember. It tests what you can build. I'm Dr. Justin Webb. Let's finish. 5 objectives. Every one requires you to produce something, not recall something. Design a complete AI-powered automation solution. Identify the 9 building blocks in a platform you have never touched. Evaluate your own trade-offs and defend them. Teach automation to a peer, and create a personal roadmap for what comes after this course. Notice the verbs: design, identify, evaluate, teach, create. That is Bloom's Taxonomy Level 6. Most courses never get past Level 2, and that is exactly what the Capstone Design Challenge tests. 4 modules, 20 classes, all converging into one engineering challenge. Module 1 gave you the language. Module 2 gave you the platforms. Module 3 gave you judgment. Module 4 gave you the tools. The capstone is not an exam. It is an engineering exercise. You are making decisions, evaluating trade-offs, and defending your choices. The same cognitive work you perform as a military leader every day, now applied to AI-powered automation. So what exactly does a complete design require? 10 components. Skip 1, and your design is incomplete. Let me tell you why these matter. Missing the token budget means your automation dies mid-month. Missing error handling means a failed API call creates a silent data gap the commander never sees. Missing the HITL gate means an AI-generated report goes straight to the general without human review. Each component exists because its absence has produced real failures in real military deployments. 10 for 10, or it does not ship. Now pick your scenario. Pick 1. Design the complete solution. Scenario A. S1, automating 200 personnel actions per month across 4 battalions. Scenario B. S2, triaging 50 intelligence reports per day across classification levels ranging from IL2 to IL6. Scenario C. S3, auto-generating read-ahead packets for 47 recurring meetings. Scenario D. S4, predicting vehicle failures 30 days out across 2,400 vehicles. Scenario E. S6, auto-resolving 60% of 80 weekly help desk tickets. Each one is a real staff section problem. Each one requires all 10 design components. Pick the one closest to your job. Anyone can sketch a workflow for the happy path. The capstone tests whether you can design for the failure path. Classification boundaries, token budget limits, human oversight requirements. And here is the honest truth. No first design is perfect. Real automation is iterative. Your paper design is version 1. The value is in the structured thinking. If your design addresses all 10 components with defensible rationale, you have demonstrated exactly the competence this course was built to develop. But real military solutions rarely live on a single platform. Single platform solutions are clean. Real military solutions are not. Your G3 needs a weekly readiness brief. That requires data from Army Vantage, AI narrative from Ask Sage, workflow routing from Power Automate, and delivery through Teams. No single platform does all 4. 3 staff officers currently spend 6 hours every Monday morning doing this manually. The automated pipeline uses 3 platforms in 6 steps. Here is exactly how those steps break down. 6 steps, 3 platforms. Here is the key insight. Steps 1 and 2 pull data from Vantage because the data already lives there. 4,200 soldiers and 2,400 vehicles. Step 3 calls Ask Sage through Power Automate because Vantage cannot generate narrative prose. Step 4 routes to the XO for review because no AI-generated brief goes to the commander without human approval. Steps 5 and 6 deliver and archive. Each platform was chosen for what it does best. Now let me show you the numbers behind Step 3. Let me give you the numbers. Step 3, the Ask Sage narrative. 3,000 tokens input, 200 tokens for the prompt, 700 tokens output. Total, 3,900 tokens per brief. 4 briefs a month, 15,600 tokens. Well within any unit allocation. The principle: no single platform does everything well. But here is the trade-off. Cross-platform means more failure points, more latency, more credentials to manage. Start with single platform at Tier 2. Combine platforms at Tier 3 only when a single platform genuinely cannot solve the problem. That is the architecture. Can you recognize it in a platform you have never seen? Here is the proof that you learned concepts, not button clicks. Your next assignment uses a platform you have never seen. Different interface, different terminology. Can you identify what it does? Look for the component that starts workflows. That is the trigger. Look for the one that sends HTTP requests. That is your AI integration. Look for branching, loops, data transformation, error handling, and the human approval gate. 7 building blocks, identifiable by function, not interface. If the platform lacks a human approval gate, build it with a webhook callback. That gap is the first thing you look for. So how do you test that recognition skill? Which building blocks are easiest to find? Triggers and actions. Every platform has them. Which are most likely missing? Human approval gates. Commercial platforms prioritize speed. Military use cases require oversight the vendor did not build for. Where do you call an AI API? The HTTP request component. Post to the endpoint. Every automation platform has one. The principle: if you can find the 9 building blocks in a platform you have never used, you are not a Power Automate specialist. You are an automation literate leader. The platform is the tool. The thinking is the skill. And that skill grew across every module of this course. Look at where you started and where you are now. Module 1, you learned the vocabulary. Now you can evaluate vendor claims and write prompts that produce consistent results. Module 2, you learn the platforms. Now you can select the right tool for any classification level. Module 3, you learn judgment. Now you can decide when to trust AI and when to override it. Module 4, you learn to build. Now you can design complete automation solutions and transfer that knowledge to any platform. 4 modules, 20 classes, 1 integrated capability set. And there is a way to measure exactly how far you climbed. Bloom's taxonomy says you just hit level 6. Most courses stop at level 2. Remember, you defined AI, tokens, context windows. Understand, you explained how LLMs generate text and why hallucination occurs. Apply, you use Ask Sage and built a pipeline on paper. Analyze, you evaluated where HTTL gates belong. Evaluate, you judged platform trade-offs and defended your decisions. Create, right now, you are designing an original AI solution from a blank page. That is the full progression. This capstone sits at the top, but cognitive levels are only part of the story. 20 classes ago, you did not know what you did not know. Stage 1, before Class 1, you used ChatGPT without understanding tokens or classification constraints. Stage 2, you discovered the landscape and realized AI is broader than chatbots. Stage 3, you can select platforms and evaluate outputs, but it took deliberate effort. Stage 4, building blocks and pipelines became intuitive. You stopped thinking about the framework and started thinking through it. Stage 5, right now, you can teach these concepts to someone new and design original solutions. That is reflective mastery. Platforms will change. What you carry forward will not. Let me be direct. You are not an AI expert after this course. You are an AI literate leader. An expert builds the platform. A literate leader knows when to use it, when not to, and what questions to ask the expert. Now here's what survives when platforms change, and they will change. 4 concepts remain valid. The 9 building blocks describe how all automation works. The orchestration AI separation pattern describes how all AI workflows are structured. The HITL spectrum describes how all consequential automation must be governed. Impact level matching describes how all classified data must be handled. The tools are temporary. The thinking is permanent. So what do you do with that thinking starting tomorrow? 3 paths forward. Path 1 is depth. Become the unit expert on one platform. Palantir has free self-paced courses at learn.palantir.com. Power Automate has free modules at learn.microsoft.com, plus the PL500 certification for about $165. Ask Sage has full API documentation at docs.asksage.ai. A staff officer who completes PL500 becomes the person who builds the brigade's first real automation. That expertise compounds. Every workflow you build makes the next one faster. But depth is not the only path. Path 2 is breadth. 4 projects you can build right now. RAG for doctrine lookup. Chunk your SOPs into a searchable knowledge base and answer questions grounded in your actual documents. AI meeting notes. Take a transcript, clean it, extract tasks, eliminate the 45-minute post-meeting write-up. Video to text pipeline. Turn a 60-minute recorded brief into a 2-page summary. AI slide generation. Turn a document into professional presentation slides without touching PowerPoint. Each one uses the platforms and patterns from this course. And for those leading organizations, there is a third path. Path 3 is leadership. For senior leaders driving AI adoption at brigade and above. 4 areas. DUR AI strategy documents from CDAO. AI acquisition guidance, because knowing how to buy AI is as important as knowing how to use it. Change management, because technology adoption fails without it, every time. And the 5 DUR AI ethical principles: responsible, equitable, traceable, reliable, and governable. Those are not suggestions. They are requirements for every AI system the department fields. Whichever path you choose, you need a plan. If you had 90 days, which path would you choose? Here is a minimum viable plan. Weeks 1 and 2, complete 1 free platform course. Weeks 3 and 4, identify 1 manual process in your unit that is repetitive, predictable, and happens more than 5 times per week. Month 2, build a prototype using the 10-component framework. Even a paper design counts. Month 3, brief your leadership on the problem, your solution, and the cost savings. Momentum matters more than perfection. A working Tier 2 automation that saves your section 2 hours per week beats a perfect paper design that never gets built. 20 classes brought you here. This is where it becomes yours. 20 classes ago, the question was, what is AI? Now the question is, what will you build with it? You leave this course with a vocabulary, decision frameworks, and engineering knowledge that did not exist in your toolkit before Class 1. The tools will change, new platforms will emerge, but the 9 building blocks will still describe how automation works. The orchestration AI pattern will still describe how intelligent workflows are structured, and human-in-the-loop oversight will still be non-negotiable for every consequential military application of AI. You are not the same leader who walked into Class 1. Take that capability back to your unit. Find 1 process, automate it, prove the value. That is a journey worth being proud of. Class 1, you asked, what is AI? Class 10, you navigated Palantir and Army Vantage. Class 13, you drew the line between human judgment and machine speed. Class 19, you wired an API call from Power Automate to Ask Sage. And today, you designed a complete AI-powered solution from scratch. Stay connected with AI for GIs on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Visit the full course at the link below. I'm Dr. Justin Webb. It's been an honor teaching this course. Now go build something